Welcome to the Diasporadicals podcast.
This is not enough.
We are African millennials getting together to discuss our lives and experiences as expats living in the UK.
What's your name?
I am Noma Jean. I used to go by Billie Jean, and I'm still not your average.
Just your name.
I am Ranting Ria. I'm sometimes random, and I still have a lot to complain about. Welcome to the Diasporadicals podcast.
Welcome back, listeners. It's the Diasporadicals podcast again. Today we actually have guests. We're gender balance. We have gender balance for once.
Each for each.
So we have two guests today, and we're going to be talking about an interesting, I don't know if it's an interesting topic, but it's a topic that I think is timely. And our guests today are DrK, back again.
Hello.
And brand new on the airwaves is James.
Hey, how you doing, listeners?
Hey, smooth voice, eh?
Hey. You know?
Yeah, people are gonna love that. So we're gonna have a conversation today that's centered around romance, as you can tell from the title, and what that means to different people. And this was actually spurred on by us having a conversation about the way we saw romance growing up in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Like the not just like on TV or what you're told, but what you actually observe, like on a day-to-day, in particular within our families, like our parents.
Yes.
Which is very fun and awkward. So it came up as a great idea for a topic. So we're just gonna have a casual conversation about that. So everyone relax and give us your real, true, honest opinion. I'm sure there'll be someone out there who you're repping. Yeah, so let's start with the gents. James, because you're brand new here, you're going to be the first one on the spotlight.
Sure, I'm cool with
What
that.
does romance mean to you?
What does romance mean to me? To be honest, romance doesn't mean a lot in my world, to be fair. It doesn't really mean a lot. I feel like romance is more centered towards women, if I'm being completely honest. It's something that society kind of just drums into you through music and books and movies and stuff like that, because I've never had a conversation with any of my friends and been like, bro, my girl's not being romantic anymore and the spark has gone. That's never been a conversation we've had. Like, so I feel like that's not a thing that I think about, to be honest. And I feel like sometimes women might see their friend get balloons and flowers and whatnot and feel like, you know what, I need to pressure my boyfriend to do the same for me. So if I'm being completely honest, I feel like romance should be relabeled as feed my ego.
Oh, that is a very interesting angle.
No, that is a good take. That is a good take on it.
That's a good take.
Yeah, I've never had a friend come to me and say, oh, the romance is gone in my relationship. It's never happened.
DrK, is that your experience as well?
I think I think part of that's true. Like I don't think I've ever had a conversation with a guy where it's been like, yeah, the romance is gone. Now, there is a point at which, like, for the people I know who are a bit older than me, there does come a point where, as a guy, you can start to feel unappreciated. But I feel like the ways in which men define appreciated and women define appreciated are very different. And the ways in which women define appreciated have a lot to do with, like what James was saying, TV and media and the ways in which that sets up. These are the things you are supposed to do to show appreciation. Flowers, candy, balloons, this particular set of things. And or the other, money, which is always the big one.
Oh dear.
Well, okay, well.
I'm just going to say, like, we're all African here. Let's be real about this. Is there anything more African than a rich man with like 15 different girlfriends?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Dangote. And you
Go
probably
for
heard
it.
about his American girlfriend who
Side
went
piece.
online and she was spilling the tea on their relationship. That was interesting.
Yeah, I heard about that as well.
Very interesting. Okay, Ria,
Yes,
do you have conversations with your girlfriends about romance?
I do. And it's
Oh.
quite interesting
Mhm.
because here's the thing, like I feel like I really like the gentleman's explanations or descriptions of what they think romance is. And I would agree with that and say that, you know, there's this whole idea or expectation or some sort of picture that has been built into a lot of people's minds of romance means buy me flowers, buy me chocolates or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it means different things to different people. But I wouldn't particularly say that it's female centric because I also know a lot of women who don't care for stuff like that.
I know one of
Who are-
those very well, intimately.
and also on the flip side, I've also met men who do enjoy romance.
Are they African
I
though?
mean, no. Good question. No, so like going back to what I was trying to say is I feel like romance means different things to different people.
Yeah.
And to me, romance means literally, like Dr. K said, showing appreciation, you know, in the little things. So if I'm with a partner and what they do to show me appreciation doesn't mean that I can't do that in return as well. So I think it goes both ways. So when it comes to talking about romance, I think it should be everyone should be involved, all hands on deck kind of thing, rather than it be the woman expecting the men to do a certain thing or behave a certain way or yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked that question, so personally, I am not romantic in the romantic movie rom-com sense. I once made an ex very unhappy by saying, I don't give a shit about flowers. Why did you buy me flowers? I leave them in the house. I go to work. I come back home. They're dead. What is that? I have to water them every day. How do I enjoy? I'm in the office. How do I enjoy the flowers from the office? I mean, needless to say, he was very pissed off.
I mean, you could have just passed them my way, you know. I like
This
flowers.
is the thing. I like flowers if I'm able to see them. But to me, they're not a romantic thing because you guys know this whole concept about love languages.
Yep.
I'm one of those people who actually likes
No.
gifts, but they need to be like thoughtful. For me, they need to reflect, oh, I heard you and I understand you and I know what's important to you. That's the answer. Flowers basically mean you didn't listen. You would have known. But anyway, putting that aside, like just the idea of flowers and all these things, I just think it's more these Valentine's Day-y kind of things. It's very much so just capitalism. I don't see the value. Like it's not valuable.
It's a Hallmark holiday.
Exactly. Someone's making money out of you feeling left out, right? It's a whole FOMO thing as well.
Which also brings me to why I find that problematic. I'm like, why have you just picked one day in the whole year, you know, for people to go out and start expressing themselves in a certain way? To me, it should be like ongoing, you know?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be the 14th of February for you to bring me chocolate. I can accept chocolate all the days of the year, you know, like,
yeah, exactly. I like chocolate all the time, not on the 14th of February. Come on now. So I mean, we kind of touched on this with what James said about like having some kind of gender expectations. What are the expectations for women in terms of romance? Is it just receiving?
I feel like it's receiving, to be honest.
Yeah. So I mean, in the romance, the commercial version of romance, as opposed to what I think Ria and Dr. K said around just showing appreciation. I think that one to me makes more sense. But according to the Hollywood, let's go like the Hollywood version, is women receive and men give, basically.
I feel so. So they want to get, you know, poems written for them and You know, all this, I love this about you and you make me feel special and you're the one. It's always been a thing where you've just been bombarded with, you have to do this for her, you have to make her feel like this. And then when I kind of look back in my relationships, when I did that, it didn't work out so well for me. So it's like, you know what, once I noticed that,
No
I
return on
completely-
investment.
Yeah, no return. And it was just kind of like I realized, you know what, maybe I need to stop doing this. And ever since I stopped doing that over romantic stuff, because obviously when you're growing up, you get caught up in the whole concept of like you go overboard with your first girlfriend and you kind of fall head over heels and stuff. And then you realize, hold on a minute, you shouldn't be like this all the time kind of thing. So once you kind of get a taste of the relationships and the whole love bug and stuff, and you kind of experience the good parts and the bad, you kind of then get a sense of what you want from a relationship and how to act. And then it's just kind of like you take time to just shake off what society has been bombarding you with and trying to make you, or even just manipulate you, to be honest. Like you kind of feel like you have to get the whole teddy bears, the chocolates, the balloons, the flowers, and then on top of that you have to post it on your social medias as well, and then that's how you prove you love a person, you know. And it's just through all this other little manipulation tactics that I feel are just like literally shoved down men's throats all the time.
Yeah. It's interesting that women have a lot of the time the role women play is like to pressure you into, like what you're saying, pressure you into giving them stuff so they can look good in front of other people.
Exactly.
And when you said teddy bear, I just had to laugh because I'm like, what is a grown woman doing with a teddy bear? But you know, I don't do stuffed animals, so
Yeah, like some people like stuffed
What's
animals.
that over your shoulder?
sorry?
Some people like
What's
stuffed
that
animals.
over your shoulder?
Oh no, that one is a space monkey. A space monkey is very special.
Oh,
The
yeah,
intelligence.
he's from NASA.
It's from NASA. He's
Okay.
in a spacesuit. This
Even I've met
the
him.
only
Yeah.
look, so like the standards, right? What is a teddy bear going to do with me, right? That's very weird. I think when you're older, you can't. Gosh.
I don't know. I beg to differ because I know a lot of adults who love their stuffed animals. So
Let me not shame people who love their stuffed animals.
yeah, don't shame people. Don't shame people.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is I actually really feel sad for men that they are actually pressured into this stuff. I mean, it would be nice for someone to do this stuff for someone because they want to, not because they've been pressured into it. Like I said, I'm just coming at it from a different angle because I've always been about my equality and stuff. So, I mean, in the past, I've written a poem for a man.
Oh, how romantic.
Yeah, I know. And he liked it as well, and he felt special. So, yeah,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, so.
So it was a good poem. It wasn't one of those where someone goes and takes Mariah Carey lyrics and passes them on to you. Because I have, and you guys, I've witnessed that in my own life. I've witnessed that.
Was this in secondary school? Because this feels like a very secondary school thing.
Yeah. It's very much secondary school.
Oh yeah, those old school, like when you'd write to your pen pal.
Do you know what happened?
And then add a list of the dedications at the bottom.
What? Okay, girl, that's new. What happened is my brother came to me and he's like, oh, this girl, she's really talented. This is a poem she wrote for me. She's trying to be romantic. And I read it and I was like, these are Mariah Carey lyrics. Burst that bubble. He didn't know. She was smart because she picked songs that he didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So can I say he's doing well? He's getting women to write in poems.
Yeah, but what do you do with that though? That's my thing. It's just like, what do you do with that? You smile, you say thank you, it goes in a drawer somewhere.
You feel fuzzy and warm and fuzzy for
James,
a minute, and that's it.
What are your love languages?
Sorry?
What are your love languages?
What kind of love life? What?
No, your love languages. Do you know about the love languages?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I can tell for you, words of affirmation is not one of them. That's one of the 5 love languages. There's some people who they need to be. So you probably have what's that one? The one where you do stuff for people. Acts of service. He's probably an acts of service person.
I need a lot of acts of service.
That's it. Exactly. So
that's what I need.
So this is the thing. When you're after being around in the world for some time, you realize that people kind of express love differently. And if that's your kind of thing, that's your kind of thing. This is why when people give me flowers, I'm like, it's a gift, sure, and I love gifts, but it means that you don't know what I actually like. You don't know me, and you're not paying attention. But for you, it's like acts of service, people doing things for you that mean something to you.
Yeah, and I
as
guess
opposed
that's
to
from
telling
just
you fuzzy stuff.
true, because obviously in all our experiences, people will say one thing and mean another thing. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Hey.
you kind of start experiencing that people's words don't really match their actions. But if I watch your actions, I'll know exactly what you're about.
Yeah, there's some
So
people
all
who
that
words are the thing. That's that they love words.
exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds
I
good.
love words.
You sound fuzzy. I mean, you feel fuzzy for a couple minutes or hours or a couple days, and then that'll wear off, and you'll be like, you know what? Their actions don't match their words. They never were planning on actually matching the words with their actions, like ever.
True.
So having said
True,
that,
true.
Dr. K, how do you feel like your African background kind of influences your idea of what romance is
I mean, I don't know if it factors in that much
at all?
at this point. As like
Yeah.
I haven't been home since I haven't lived at home properly since I was 19. Well, no, actually, I went back for a couple of years in my 20s, but I haven't lived at home properly since I was like my mid 20s. And also, back home now is sort of back home was when I was a kid. Like at this point, the same pressures apply. Valentine's Day rolls around, and every radio station is telling you how your girlfriend needs flowers and candy. So that stuff is now spread out pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes a huge difference anymore. Yeah. So I think we do tend to model our relationships on what we saw when we were growing up. And so that probably has an effect, but that's not the entire country. That is who are your parents and how do they feel about each other and how do they act about each other in front of the kids.
Interesting. And how do they act in front of the kids?
I mean, I think my parents are about as affectionate as you are going to get from two African parents in front of their children.
Which isn't much.
It's a little bit, but it's not a lot.
Okay. What about you, Ria? What did you see?
The reason I'm laughing at that is the most affection I ever saw my parents show each other was a handshake.
Really?
Yeah.
Business partners.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I never saw anything more than a handshake.
Wow. Okay. I thought my parents were
No.
aromantic. But
they could be gone from each other for months and months, and they finally see each other. We'd run to my dad, hug him, and he'd come and shake hands with my mom, like, hello.
wow. Feels a little transactional, business-like,
Very.
It's
I
a
know,
business,
very official, very, like,
curtsy.
I know. Like, I think I've shown more affection to workmates.
Wow. Ouch.
So growing up, that was always like something we wondered about. Like, you guys, do you love each other, or what's going on? So the whole idea of romance was very foreign growing up, and it was something maybe we saw on TV or in the movies, but in our daily lives, it was very rare to meet, through an African couple that was openly expressive. And when I say romance, generally just showing affection, a hug, a kiss, a peck, whatever, it's very rare to see that like on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, cool. What about you, James?
Kind of like everybody else, really. I just saw the bare minimum. So I never really saw my parents embrace, kiss, anything like that. You obviously, like mum's birthday, you see flowers and stuff. They'll go out and they'll take holidays, trips by themselves and stuff. So I don't know that part of the story when it comes to romance. So whatever they're doing on their vacation trips alone, I'm going to keep that out of my mind. But outside of that, I never saw anything really. That even when my dad came home and stuff, there wasn't a welcoming kiss or hug or anything like that. Right. But to say that they've been together for like 33 years or something, so I guess that works for them. Yeah. If that makes sense. So whatever they've got going on, it works for them. Yeah. But I feel like I'm gonna be a bit different, maybe because I'm just a different generation, of course. Like I feel like when I do have kids, my kids are gonna be disgusted with what I'm doing to their mum. I was just gonna ask you, are you? I'm gonna be slapping bums, kisses, everything. Like,
are you affectionate? Like, because that's the thing. Is like I think if you've grown up well, if you spend some time in the West, you become London. Like London, if you're not used to affection, like it will sort that out very quickly. Being on the tube for 15 minutes.
True.
You will see other things, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm an affectionate person, and I guess it's just trying to take my parents' experience as well and adapt that to myself, to be honest. So I've seen what's worked for them, and I kind of see how I would like that to be different, because obviously with them being not being affectionate to each other, it was like the same way my dad was with me. He wasn't like overly affectionate. He wasn't like embracing me and stuff like that. So it does trickle through to other areas of the family. So I guess that's why certain people feel like African parents are like cold and detached, and you know that classic saying, "I'm not your friend." But when I go to my friends' houses, their mom and dad are their friends. They can tell them everything, and I did this and I did that. Now, I couldn't feel like I could be that open in my parents, because number one is I'm not your friend. That was just something that just keeps on going around my mind even till now sometimes.
I see that, and you're really right about how it trickles down and also reflects on how close you can get with them. In that way. For me, mine over time they started becoming more affectionate, and we're going from not seeing any affection to hugs to pecks. They've only gone as far as pecks, but I've seen them, like, especially after like a long separation, looking at each other with something that looked like a spark of something, and I was like, oh, look at that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So, but that was like with time, right? And they're like into like 40 years of marriage, so they've been together for a minute.
Yeah, so for mine, they're at 45 now, and it's not the same thing that you were saying. It's definitely there's definitely more stuff now than there was when I was a kid. But I think part of that's also the way you see your parents when you're like 6. It's not the same way you see your parents when you're like 25. Like, there is a change, and part of that change is they are going to act more like adults around you. Part of that change is you're going to notice things you didn't notice before. So like there are things my parents do that now I would notice and be like, oh, okay, I see where this is going, and then I immediately just put it out of my head and pretend I didn't. At 6, I wasn't going to notice that stuff. Like it just slipped right past me.
That is hilarious. Okay, cool. Gosh, so now let's think about like your own cultures and where you come from. Actually, we're doing really well here. We've got a little southern, we've got a little east, we've got a little west, sub-Sahara covered, like really well covered by represented here. So let's talk a little bit about like culturally, what have you seen in terms of what's normal in the culture, how people approach these things? Some of us are coming from cultures where people even have arranged marriages. Some are coming from places where some people, you know, you're allowed to have more than one wife, polygamy and all that kind of stuff is normalized. What are people usually doing when they're in a relationship, whatever you might call it? We're talking of maybe a few generations back. What was that like? Anyone want to jump in?
I'm thinking, because this is something I spoke to another African person about some time back. They were saying how, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but apparently kissing is not an African thing. Apparently.
So why are Africans so good at it?
I don't know, because we got good lips.
We're just good at everything. That's just how it is. No, I honestly, I have heard that from white people a lot, is that Black people, Africans are very good at kissing. That's what I've heard. I have not kissed them all. I don't know.
Could it be something biological based on our lip size or something?
I mean, I've been told it's much better to kiss with lips than without.
Yes.
I've been told that. Yes. Definitely been told that.
Yeah.
So there's an advantage there from our anatomy. Cool. Good for us. So kissing was not a thing.
I don't know. Have any of you guys heard anything like that or remotely?
I've wondered, but I've not heard.
I've heard people say it, but no one who I would take seriously on the topic.
Okay, yeah.
Because the last, let's say, 3 generations, things have changed. Like between my grandparents' generation and mine, like the world is a very, very different place, and we don't have sad to say, we don't have as many connections to that part of that to what the world looked like in their time as we should. Like, there's a lot of that stuff we just don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like what
That's
gets
so true.
slotted into that space a lot of times is a whole bunch of ideas about the way Africans behave, which may or may not have anything to do with how Africans actually behave.
Yeah.
True.
We don't have any
Very true.
facts. all we have
We
is
really don't. We really don't
Yeah.
here, you know.
Like for
We're
instance,
just going-
for my dad's people, for instance,
Hmm.
we know divorce used to be a big thing. Like, it was not at all unusual for a woman to be married, have kids, leave her husband, go marry someone else, have more kids with them, leave that husband,
Yeah.
life by herself. That doesn't happen. Dude, that didn't happen in my parents' generation because by then the church
Yeah.
had set in hard and it wasn't the thing. But that used to be part of how people lived their lives, and it was perfectly normal. And
Yeah.
now it's like it's a social sin. Like, there's a lot of things about the way the way world worked that were a lot more fluid, and then colonization showed up, the church showed up, and gates came down, and we're on the other side of that. And there's lots of stuff that happened on this end of it that we weren't around for, and people don't really talk about very much. And so you end up having to go read like books that people wrote in the 1800s to understand what was happening.
Yeah.
It's so true.
True.
It is so true. Yeah. And I think like every culture has its own like thing or whatever. I mean, I've been learning more about like East African culture, I think, in the last couple of years or so. And I wouldn't say that's the thing, like, because when we use the word romance, I don't know, I think it's quite a limiting word. Because if what we're really trying to talk about is how people, I don't know, communicate affection to each other in a relationship, which doesn't necessarily have to be those, buying gifts or whatever, because like, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, there were no flowers to buy.
So does that mean you're saying poor people can't be romantic?
So what do people do? What do people do, right? What do people do when that's not the way it is? Do they express anything at all, or was?
I love looking and hearing about some of the old school songs and poetry and the things people used to do, for each other,
Okay.
Like, it's like, you don't have to bring me flowers. Go, just, I don't know, cut down a banana tree or something and bring me the bananas. That's nice.
I like that. That is like a healthy version of chocolate.
Old school guys used to do that, like.
Chop down a banana, whatever.
Hunt down it.
Bananas over,
Plantain.
Like, bring the chicken for dinner. Come with the chicken.
But that's like that gives me very acts of servicey, and I think maybe that's what it looked like back in the day. You did things for each other, and I like that you bring up singing and romantic singing and stuff like that, and writing poems. Because in the 90s, you'd put together a CD or a tape for someone. Remember that? Nowadays, what do people do? Do they send a Spotify playlist?
I think so.
I guess so. I have no idea. Like, seriously, I used to make playlists for people. So like, people would come to me and be like, "Look, I need a playlist for
That's
my
a nice
girlfriend.
thing.
This is the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Leave me alone." And a few hours later, I'd hand them back a playlist and they'd go give it to a girl, and that would be how they got in. Like, this was me in secondary school, and completely useless skill. Just doesn't matter anymore.
That's funny. In secondary school, so what I particularly had really good handwriting. So what the boys would do is they'd come to me with a book and be like, "Please copy out this poem for me."
You're the calligraphy girl.
Yeah, I was the calligraphy girl, and I charged them money. So hey, I had lunch money every day. Yeah,
this is the thing. People were making money, because I remember this was definitely a thing. Like, there was a friend of mine who was a really good writer, and like, the senior boys would come to him and be like, "Look, I need something for this girl," and he'd go off and he'd write them notes, collect this money, take some notes to go.
What was I doing in high school? No, I was selling food. That's what I was doing. I was selling my lunch.
Oh, you were one of those, weren't you?
No, look, my mom's cooking is amazing. So I'd go with extra, and literally I'd be sold out before class started. That's how good her food is. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. So what does romance look like in the time of COVID? Is it there? Does it exist? What are people
Don't
doing?
know.
So I've seen capitalism doing its capitalistic thing of
Mhm.
here are some things you can send someone remotely. Fine, that's cute. But again, it's more of buying stuff. It's just buying,
I'd say
spending money.
trying to help each other maintain our sense of well-being, really, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Like, we can't really do a lot, so it's about just taking the time to just check in with people, or your partner, sorry. Checking with your partner, trying to arrange like daily walks and stuff, and try and do activities where you can kind of, like I'm seeing someone at the moment, and we got a calendar, and we try and have date nights on Fridays and Fridays and Saturdays and stuff like that, and just try and do different activities.
Oh, that's great.
So it's not
That's sweet. Yeah.
so yeah, we have like date nights, movie nights and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's just more of a case of just trying to look out for each other's well-being, really.
Yeah. You bring up a good point about right now, like taking care of yourself is extra important, more important than it's ever been. You know, because obviously we're not able to do the normal things we normally do. We don't have variety. That is the thing that's really bothering me right now, is the lack of variety. Sitting on the same desk for my entertainment as well as my education as well as my job as well.
That part is hard.
I know. I know. It's ridiculous. Hey, people are also doing Netflix parties. That's nice.
Yeah, I used to do that. And then Amazon has put in the functionality for that, so they've stolen the idea from that.
And so has iPlayer, by the way. You can do this with the BBC as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Is there anything to watch on the BBC?
Yeah.
Shade! Moving on.
Ouch,
Look,
ouch.
I will defend the BBC even as I
I'm
criticize
being
them.
mean.
I've never worked for them though, so yeah, I guess. I have no emotional attachment to them.
I feel like I've watched almost everything. What I've been doing is I've been picking a specific actor or something and then like going through their whole catalog. That's my new way of
Oh, yeah?
doing things. Yeah.
Oh, have you guys checked out Informer? I've been watching Informer lately.
I have not seen Informer yet. Oh, have you seen?
Please tell me they use that song, the actual Informer.
No, they didn't use the song.
Useless opportunity of a
No,
lifetime.
They missed that opportunity.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
So disappointed.
No, if you haven't seen Lupin yet, I am making a strong recommendation now. Go watch it.
Oh, yes.
Arsène Lupin.
Lupin, just I
Arsène
finished it
Lupin.
already. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was good.
Cool.
It was really good.
James, have you done that for date night? Have you watched
Sorry?
Lupin for your movie date nights?
No, I haven't. Someone gave me a bad review. So I stayed away
Really?
from it.
I've not heard anything bad about it. In fact, I was like, I'm gonna find this so
Yeah.
irritating, aren't I? Because everybody's raving about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I actually enjoyed it.
It's actually I'm surprised
I'm gonna
it
watch
became
it, I'm
a
gonna
hit
watch it.
because I saw it. I was like, I like this, but I'm not sure if it's going to have mainstream
Yeah.
appeal.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
got
has
issues. It's got issues in it.
Oh, definitely.
It's got some serious
Definitely.
issues, but
Hey, but coming out of France,
in terms of casting, but I'm like, it is a French show, so it comes with the territory.
no, but you know, actually, like, I wanted to know, like, because we've been talking about romance, and a lot of the guys are saying that they feel it's something for women. Like, what would you like? What would you call something being done romantic for you? Like, what would you like to get or receive?
And please
or
don't
receive
say cooking related things.
other than food.
Your Deliveroo.
Deliveroo.
You have Deliveroo, and you know
Um,
what? Deliveroo, unlike one woman, you have like all cuisine at your fingertips.
I think that's a tough question for me. Well, for me, really, because I feel like I'm not too caught up in romance too much. Like, you know, obviously, again, with social conditioning, that if you're thinking about romancing a man, you think, oh, he'd come home, you're wearing something sexy or whatever. But speaking for myself, I don't really care about lingerie and stuff. I just want to take it off. It's not a big deal
Lingeries.
to me, so it's not like it's not something I'll be caught up on, you know? So it's like, I guess what romance means to me is acts of service, really. And obviously that's something that is only done when I'm fulfilling my end as well. Like, obviously it's going to be a balance. If I'm not doing what I'm doing as a partner, boyfriend, husband, or whatever, I don't expect her to follow through on her end. So as a man, if I'm on top of my game, I'm doing everything I can to hold us down, lead the relationship, make sure that we're secure and you're protected as well, then I feel like there should be an act of service on her end. I'm not trying to put her in a position where she feels that she has to do certain things, but just her understanding that there's, I'm taking care of business, basically. I'm making sure we're okay, our future's secured. And I expect that, well, I don't want to offend anyone, but that submissiveness that comes with understanding that I've got us while you've got us as well at the same time. So it's like a balance, really.
But you've got her back. This is not a case of
course, yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and be the king on the throne and everybody's gonna serve me.
No, definitely not. I mean, obviously, I guess it's just understanding the king back then went into battle front line. He was in the front line of everything. Not as in nowadays where the king and queen just sit in a palace, have nothing to do with government policies or anything. Like, if we're talking about the historical terms of a king, the king is out there handling business, he's front line, he's training his soldiers, he's training his kids, his community. He's involved, basically. So basically, as a man, if you're taking care of yourself, your business, your family, your partner, then you deserve to be treated like a king.
Okay, Shaka.
But that's how it
So
should
this
be.
is the thing.
You know?
I think a lot of people have this idea in their heads because we have this conversation about equality and all that stuff all the time, right? I personally believe in equality. I believe I can do whatever the heck I want to do. It's not, my gender or my sex should not be the determinant of what I'm able to do and capable of. But I'm also of the idea that people should figure out what works for them personally. What works for you? Which kind of relationship structure do you thrive in, right? And some people think it's just an excuse to be lazy, whichever gender, right?
Yeah.
So people think I'm just going to sit here and someone's going to do everything for me, and it's not an equal participation in the relationship, right? Some relationships I see where the woman takes the role of doing all the emotional work, which is very silly because if you're in a romantic relationship, there's emotions involved. So why is one person doing all the emotional work and the other person isn't, right? Everybody needs to play their part. So, and on the other side, sometimes you see women who are just like, oh, do everything for me. I'm just going to sit here. Yeah. So, I mean, those are not healthy things. People do it, but in my opinion, they're not healthy. But when it comes to romance itself, I think there's, figuring out what's important to you. I like that you're, talking about acts of service, etc. Understanding yourself, self-awareness. This is something that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people are very much so, oh, I'm attracted to so-and-so, and that's as far as it goes. They don't engage any further than attraction. They don't think about their future goals. They don't think about taking care of the person in terms of being there for them, etc., right? That's work to them, not part of a relationship. And I feel like a relationship should be work. But even if you're dating someone, right? In fact, the dating stage is when you're supposed to be on your best behavior. That's why if you actually fail during the just getting to know you, you're failed so bad because this is the easy part. The heat starts later once you're past like your honeymoon phase, right? And then there's some people who still play. I don't know if you guys know what happens on dating apps nowadays, but there's such jokesters on there, and everybody's on there now because people are trapped at home.
And they're bored. Yeah.
They're bored. Yeah. But we'll see what happens on the run up to the 14th of February. DrK, how about you?
Oh, what's the question again?
What Ria said about like what does that mean, or what does it mean for someone to be romantic towards you? What would that look like?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd use the word romantic, and so I don't know if I see myself as romantic, but I am a very I'm trying to think of this. Like for me, sort of time. It's sort of like James says. It is like doing stuff as opposed to like saying stuff. It's nice. It is nice to have someone appreciate what you do. So it's nice to have someone say thank you for stuff. That's nice, but it's not. But again, it's based around. I'm happy when people are willing to do stuff. I'm happy when people are willing to take time out. I'm more of time like, are you willing to take time out of your day and show up? Are you willing to show up and do stuff? Are you willing to hang out? Are you willing to be supportive in times when it would be nice to have support? Like that's
Quality time. Quality time. That's
Mm.
another love language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Hey, we've got healthy people.
Oh, big one. Are you able to talk about what it is you want? Because actually, one thing that I have noticed that's definitely been a thing is that you meet people. So, for instance, I dated someone who really liked flowers, did not say she liked flowers, got upset when she didn't get flowers.
Bravo.
That's miscommunication.
No, it's not miscommunication. It's lack of communication. There's some people who expect that you should know what they need and want for them. And this is why I said you need to have self-awareness. You need to also be able to express that. This is what means something to me. Express that. If you find someone who automatically does them, good for you. But there's no human being who can read minds. So if there's something missing, and this is a typical relationship bug where people going and expect the partner to just automatically do things and expect everything to be obvious. So you get stuck with these girls who are like, why didn't you do this and that for me? This is where you end up being nagged.
Oh yeah.
This is how you end up not being a good Instagram boyfriend.
Yeah, she never gets posted.
Wait, what does that mean to be posted from a guy's perspective? Tell me. Yeah, I know to women, but I'm someone who personally I don't post anything about my partner on. If you find, wow, if you find, you're really lucky.
Yeah,
but
I like to keep things private.
Yeah, your relationship is your business. I mean, there's some people who they like people congratulating them on being in a relationship.
Okay, enough. I dated a guy who found it troublesome that I didn't post him. He was the one who wanted to be posted. Like,
he was insecure.
Yeah, I found that on
That's the thing.
Probably.
Right? Is it an insecurity thing where the world needs to know?
Yeah, I want you to claim me, basically.
Yeah, I think it's very much an insecurity thing. I know, like my thing is the important. If I'm dating someone and I'm serious about them, the important people will know about it. The important people do not find out through Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Amen to that.
True.
Listeners, if there's someone who disagrees with us, because I know there's some people who are very strong about this, tell us why. Tell us why. We want to know. But clearly on this particular panel, nah.
I treat it like I'm going through the airport. Nothing to declare.
Nothing to declare. Love it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't get that either. Yeah. Instagram is let's be honest, it's a very vain place, and that's kind of the point of it. Except for lovely people who put pictures of scenery and good things that make everybody happy and laugh.
That's also vanity.
It is, but it's a different kind of vanity.
It's more like
exactly.
Like
true.
I'm an artist.
This amazing place I went to. Oh
or I'm a great photographer.
Yeah, it is artsy fartsy. Yeah,
I like artsy.
I feel like
it's all ego. Let's be honest, but
if you're honest, everything's ego. Everything is ego if we really think about it. Everything. I'm not wearing this T-shirt because I like it. It's because it fits me well. I can wear a T-shirt that's like 10 times better.
My biceps and triceps. No, look, if you've been working hard in the gym or whatever, taking care of yourself, I think you kind of earn the right to be like, you know what? I do the work, and I'm going to enjoy myself.
Like, I remember having this conversation with someone who was complaining about Anthony Joshua, like, he walks around with the shirt off all the time. It's like, look, let me get into that shape. You will have to fight me to put the shirt on. I won't even like, you have to fight me to put the shirt on. It'll be like 2 degrees outside. I'm walking around shirtless. Like, why do that? Like, do you see these abs? Of course, I'm working with you.
Yeah. I heard a conversation on Clubhouse the other day where guys were like, "Oh, women, why do you have your tits out and blah 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 blah?" And I heard someone else reply and say, "Well, for all the guys who have six packs, why do we know they have six packs? Because they show us their six packs every opportunity, and nobody complains. Let's leave it."
I know.
Six packs are hard to first attain and then maintain. They are very hard to maintain.
I have so much respect for Usher.
I respect
He has maintained his for many years.
That's so you've been tracking.
Sorry, yes, every video he has to show us. So
okay. Okay. Okay.
You know,
Noted.
I mean, since Moesha days, the boy has maintained. So
Yeah, that's how it works. Like, if I'm putting in that much work, you will know about it.
Yeah, it's not easy. The same way when you're putting hard work, and I don't know, you buy a car or a house or something. Everybody posts the key picture on Instagram. It's just a different kind of way of expressing.
That's
it's
just
a
for
flex.
me. That's
Yeah,
just saying.
everyone has their own flex.
It's to me. It's just saying, feed my ego.
Yeah.
Give me that validation. Hit the like button. That's it. I mean, everything is ego, to be honest. But there is a thing where you need to kind of be aware of your ego as well.
Yeah.
Like the whole abs thing is ego. Is ego. Like, I know people that have abs. Don't want to name drop myself. I don't need to go on Instagram and show my 8-packs and stuff like that. That's not something that I feel like I need to do.
Yeah.
But obviously, everyone has an awareness of their ego. So yeah, it's just not everyone has, but it's just trying to keep it in check. And when you need to, I feel like when you need to defend yourself, that's ego. Sometimes you can just be passive and let things happen to you, or you can tap into your ego and let that, help you defend yourself. So yeah, ego is good, but it is bad at the same time.
Yeah. And I appreciate someone, flexing their ego if it's their work, but then how can you flex another human being? It's like, oh, come on, babe, let's go. We're going on Instagram. I'm like, you can't flex another human being.
Oh, yes,
Doesn't
you can.
make sense to me.
If you can definitely.
I mean, you can. I think she's trying to say you shouldn't.
Yes, you should.
I think.
Yeah. You shouldn't. Yes. Yeah.
But here's the thing: a lot of
it's
people.
like, when people.
It's about people, congratulating. I mean, gosh, people are weird.
It's like people that post pictures
Walk
of
away.
themselves with
Even Brad and
celebrities.
Angelina broke up, for goodness sake. What are you flexing for?
Oh, wow! Every time I hear that,
forever.
every time I hear that, it's like the first time
Dude, Angelina,
that they broke up.
Dude, Halle Berry has more than one ex, and she didn't leave all of them. Some of them left her.
Yeah, and she's in her 50s with a 6-pack.
Yes. It's like
so.
It's like someone cheated on Beyonce. Rihanna has more than one ex. Like, you have to stop and think about
Imagine, understand.
Like, life is hard for everybody.
So be humble.
Be humble. Exactly.
Be humble.
Exactly. So while you're up there flexing another human being, just flex your own 6-pack, flex your own stuff. That's yours. It's you. It's part of you.
Although that said, if Rihanna ever dates me, I am putting that on Instagram. Just let you guys know now. There is no way I'm
Whoa, bro. Yo, DrK, don't mention my wife, please.
My wife.
DrK, please.
Imagine how me and Rihanna would look together.
Whoa.
The world
I'm about
would
to log off this
break
conversation.
You guys, all of you go ahead and wifey her. Me, I'll be the side chick. Me, it's okay. It's fine.
Nah, she'll tell me.
Wow, I'm glad that this is not a Rihanna slander place.
No, we're fighting.
Nah, that's baby girl.
She's one of the few celebrities where I'm like, okay, I might just throw hands today.
Hey, I will start sabotaging all of you, putting extra carbs in your food. I'm like, no.
Wow, that's a very African thing to do. There's a little extra for you. Wow, goodbye 6-pack. But look, she got thicker.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hey, and it's
good.
She's a very yummy woman.
There's nothing she can do that she just looks good no matter what. What a lucky
We
woman.
love you, Riri.
Yeah.
We love you.
She'll look much better with me, though, to be honest. But I'm not gonna put that out there too much.
Nah. I think.
So if you're listening, Riri, sort your life out.
Is she with some? She's with that fool right now, isn't she?
Yeah, that little man boy, ASAP Rocky.
Really?
Well, it will be temporary. We know. Look, she has to learn the hard way sometimes. Tough love.
What can we do?
Well, since we all like Rihanna, everybody's gonna have to say how they would express their romantic feelings towards her.
Ooh.
Deal? This is
nice.
Okay.
You start. You go first.
Me. Hey.
Yes.
You know what? Let's think about this.
We have to make a plan, guys. How are we going to romance Rihanna?
I wouldn't.
You think her game is fly enough like that? Like,
I wouldn't. She's used to men just like folding for her and falling at her feet. I wouldn't romance her. I'd tell
Drake.
her, romance me. You bring me flowers. You do all that romance stuff for me, because she's used to men just
me, I already
literally
have the
folding.
best superpower. I got Riri. Riri is mine. I will roll her the nicest.
I knew you were gonna say that.
They all do that though. That's the thing. They all do that. Some of them are practicing right now.
No, there's
just
people
hoping
paid.
that-
No, there's this guy who's paid in Hollywood by celebrities to roll joints.
I remember when I
This
heard
is what I'm
about that.
saying. I will do none of that for her.
This is one of my career options as we go forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, Africa is a great place to grow Mary Jane. I think we need to be very serious about that.
We should legalize and start selling it to people. I am unbelievable.
This is going to be one route out, but we have to
Immediately.
control it. It cannot be controlled by anybody
immediately.
else.
I believe we need a whole episode to discuss this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But
This is
yeah,
going to
see,
be-
instead of buying flowers for her, you buy the whole marijuana tree. Like, here you go.
No,
Like,
she can buy it for me.
She buy it for you. You're not gonna
But
romance her.
I'm telling you that I am not doing nothing romantic for her. I'm not
Damn.
doing. Chris Brown was singing her in bed and stuff, and singing to her and all this stuff, and Drake's probably just tying her shoelaces. I'm not doing none of that stuff for her. She's used to it. I'm gonna be myself, non-romantic, channel that African masculinity. I'm doing nothing.
Okay.
yeah, we shall see. We shall
Wow.
I respect that.
Anyway.
You know what? That's like points for strategy. Points.
Yeah.
Points. I understand why you're saying that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I
he's
still-
trying to use the whole reverse psychology thing. Like,
Yeah, she needs me.
Wow. The thing is, she has anything she could want, right?
exactly.
You know
That's
what I
what I'm
think?
saying.
You know what I think Rihanna needs? Okay, let's look at her catalog. She went through that rough time with that stupid accountant of hers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ended up making that song "Bitch Better Have My Money," and then now she's kind of like quit music, or I think she's trying to quit music by setting up all these businesses and not having to rely on it, because I don't think it makes that much. Well, the contract she had, I don't think she was making as much as she deserved.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, people don't realize how tough it is. to
No,
make
it
in
is
the
tough.
music industry.
So
yeah.
for me,
Like, yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna be acts of servicing this one. I'm gonna find her someone who will look after that shit for her, so she can rest. Because that girl did not take a holiday for 6 years straight. She
Mhm.
needs to rest. I know she's in London,
That's nice.
so we
Is
need
she?
to find her. Yes, you didn't hear that she moved here in secret. She says, "Oh, my favorite thing is walking through London and nobody recognizes me." I was like, "Bitch, where in London? Because there must not be any black people there."
We must start finding her. I'm going to start my.
Dude, if she lives
looking
up like
around.
Richmond, there's some rich white people who walk past Rihanna every day and have no idea who she is, probably.
Imagine,
Mhm.
ugh, nasty,
that.
disrespectful.
That is disrespect, actually. That's privilege. They could
disrespect.
slap you with your own privilege. Silly.
Very annoying. No, I think right now she's not in London, but her base is London. So I'm definitely going to find someone who will look after her shit so that she can just relax. The girl is stressed. When she comes home, I'm just going to be like, "Hey, your massage. I'll look
No.
after you." She'll just
Actually, a
have to.
massage is the best thing.
I like that, Jean. You look after her
Looking
so
after
she can
her.
look after me. I like that. You massage
Look
her.
at this
get her
ego.
ready
We
for
went
me.
right around just to come back to you.
Like, I respect
You
it.
massage her, I break her back, and I'll send her back to you. You
this
massage
is
her again, get her
hilarious.
back to being healthy, and I'll break her again.
Okay, I think DrK, it's you left.
What, Rihanna?
Yes, what's your plan?
Okay, see, here's the thing. It can't be money because, like, look, let's be real.
She's fine.
Rihanna could buy and sell me tomorrow and she wouldn't even notice it. So I can't roll up in there thinking I am going to give her something she hasn't seen before, in terms of something physical she hasn't seen before, or take her
Yeah.
someplace she hasn't been, or buy her something she doesn't own. Like, those are all out. So what it has to
Yeah.
come down to is, like, basically, can I show up and be something dependable and reliable? I'm basically the Honda Civic of Rihanna's life. It's like, I'm here, I work, I am functional, everything's good. You can go off on tour and you can come back and you know that I'll still be around.
You're not gonna go on tour too?
Hmm?
No, let me not help you.
Hey, I have a job.
You're on your own.
Hey, like
Yeah,
Rihanna
but
does not
Rihanna-
need some man following her around on tour, like getting while she is not. Like, she can go on tour. When she comes back, I'll still be here. Like we're good.
Okay. Reliable, the anchor.
Yes, the anchor.
Cool. That makes sense. Rihanna, look, you have got 4 amazing options. In fact, you can take all of us.
I would be
If you
willing to
so wish.
timeshare. I'm going to be honest about this.
I'd be willing to timeshare too. So when things end with that guy,
I don't mind. I know I'm getting the most important time. It's fine.
I think between the 4 of us, we could give her the best.
She'll be getting
Chances.
massages. She'll
Living her
be
best.
having someone to rely on. She'll have someone to smoke with. She'll have someone to,
Break that back.
Break the back, fix
break
the back.
fix the back.
Sounds like a good plan. All right. I think this has been really good fun. It's time we should probably wrap up. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. K and James.
Thank you for having us.
Such a
Thank
good
you for having
time. I learned a lot.
So much fun.
And I'm really happy to see that people have sense. I mean, I knew when I asked you guys to come on that you have sense. So, but there's evidence. I hope people are listening.
That's true.
That there are people with sense out there. So it's such a pleasure. Cool. You know where to find us. Do you guys want to plug anything?
Yeah, I want to plug my upcoming venture, the Low GI Company, food and drinks for diabetics and people that don't have diabetes as well. So you can find me on all social medias at the Low GI Company.
Fantastic. We will share that on our socials as well.
Thank you.
Dr. K, anything you want to say to the people, them?
I have no side hustles, but I am available if people just want to hang out and have conversations. That's about it. Otherwise, I just.
Fantastic. Cool. Okay, cool. That's it from us this week. And see you on the other side. Find us on socials at Diaspora Radicals on Twitter, on Instagram at Diaspora Radicals Pod. And you can actually find our episodes everywhere, including YouTube now. So please share with your friends and families, and have a nice romantic 14th of February. Good luck.
Yeah. And
good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck
If
to
you're with
people.
an African, good luck.
Hey.
I'm in trouble.
Hey, don't be expecting those flowers or chocolates. Just sit in your house and
So it's just another
man.
day.
It's
It's
like,
just
yeah.
another day.
That's the thing. Do
Loving a
not
time
go
of
out,
COVID.
people. Stay inside. Wear a mask. Social distance.
Amen.
Save some
Yeah,
money.
take care of
Save some
yourselves.
money.
Take care of your mental health. Bye-bye.